You had a setup to place your trade and set your stop loss. The market spiked, then hits your stop loss. Then thereafter moves towards the direction you predicted. This has happened to most boom and crash traders at some point, and most people call it bad luck. This is not bad luck. This is stop loss placement problem. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I approach stop loss on every single trade I take. Hi, my name is John and welcome to BoomCrash Academy. Today we are talking about stop loss, how to place it correctly based on market structure, and how to adjust it for spike reality that is unique to boom and crash indices. So if you're new here, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upload. By the end of this video, you will have a complete different approach to stop loss placement. The one that's actually based on what the market is actually telling you and not how much you hope to lose. So stay with me to the end, because the biggest mistake I share at the end is one that is quietly blowing account right now. Let me ask you something. When you're about to enter into a trade, what question do you ask yourself about your stop loss? And most traders ask this question: how many pips am I willing to lose on this trade? And then they pick a number: 20 pips, 30 pips, 50 pips. Fixed number, rigid number with no connection to what the market is doing at the moment. You see, I stopped asking this question long time ago, and I asked this question instead: at what price is my trade idea proving wrong? Not how many pips, not what fits my lot size, and not what feels comfortable in my account. At what specific price does the market prove my analysis or setup incorrect? You see, that particular level, that price level, that is where my stop loss goes. When you think about stop loss this way, everything changes, because your stop loss stops being about the fear of losing money. Rather, it becomes a rational line drawn in the sand that says, once price gets here, I was wrong about my analysis. Then I exit quietly. This mindset shift is what separates the disciplined traders from the emotional one. So practically, how do I get this price level? The market structure gives me answer every time. In crash indices, when I'm looking for buy opportunities, I identify my demand zone first, then I ask myself, if price breaks below this zone or below the most recent swing low, is my buy idea still valid? The answer is no. So that level becomes my stop loss, not 20 pips below the entry, not a round number I pick randomly, below the structure that must hold for my trade to make sense. And on both indices, when I'm looking for sell opportunity, same process apply in reverse. So I identify my supply zone. If price breaks above that zone or be above the recent swing high, my sell idea is invalidated, and that level is my stop loss. So structure tells me where I am wrong, and that is where the stop loss goes. Simple as that. Not how many pips can I afford to lose, but at what price level is my trade idea proving wrong? Answer this every time before you enter a trade, and you see your stop loss become logical, not emotional. Now I want to talk about something specific to boom and crash that you not hear from most trading channels, because most trading channels teach stop loss from forex perspective. Boom and crash have spikes, and spikes do not care about your stop loss. On boom indices, the dangerous move is the sudden upward spike. So when I say boom, I never place my stop loss directly at the top of my supply zone. Why? Because boom can spike aggressively upward, weeks traders out of their position, then drop back to the original direction you've predicted. If your stop loss is sitting right at the zone, that spike takes you out. Then market move exactly where you expected. So I give my stop loss extra breathing space above the zone, enough to survive the spike without invalidating my setup. And on crash indices, the dangerous move is the sudden downward drop. So when I buy crash, I never place my stop loss directly below the demand zone or directly at any obvious swing low. Why? Because crash loves to sweep those lows, hunt stop loss sitting there, and then reverse sharply upward. So if your stop loss is at that obvious level, you are out before the real moves begin. So here is my personal stop loss rule I want you to remember. If my stop loss is sitting exactly where everyone else's stop loss is sitting, it is probably in danger. The market moves towards liquidity. Stop losses are liquidity. So place your stop loss to the level where the market is telling you that, see, the stop loss is not at the most obvious level on the chart. Now, let me tell you the stop loss mistake I see boom and crash traders make over and over again. And this is painful to watch because it seems like a smart risk management on the surface, but it's actually one of the fastest ways to blow an account. Placing your stop loss too tight because you want to trade with bigger lot size. This is how this looks like in real life. A trader has $100 and they want to trade with 0.50 lot size just because they want to make a decent amount of money from the trade. So to justify the lot size, they squeeze their stop loss to 10 or 15 pips. But one spike, just one spike, and they are out. Not because their analysis was wrong, but because their stop loss had no room to breathe on an index which is known for aggressive wick. They prioritize their lot size over stop loss placement, and the market punished them for it every time. So the second mistake, and this is even more dangerous, removing stop loss completely. I hear this often that boom and crash always come back, and sometimes that is very true. But at one time the market does not come back. That one trade that trend for hundreds or thousands of points against you. That one trade wipes everything you've built over weeks or months. The traders I respect most on boom and crash do not try to avoid stop losses. They treat stop losses as business expense, the cost of being in the market, and they keep each loss small enough that no single trade will ever threaten the account. That is what risk management looks like. Not avoiding losses, but managing them. So let's bring all together. Base your stop loss on structure and not pip numbers. Adjust your stop loss for spike reality on whatever index you are trading. Never let your lot sizes pressure you into placing stop loss that is too tight to survive. And never go into any trade without having a stop loss. Apply this framework in your next trade and notice how much calmer you feel while trading. Now, because you have your stop loss with a logical reason behind it. In the next risk management video, we are going into position sizing. How many lots should you be trading based on your account size? So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. And if you want your boom and crash level already marked out before the markets move, entry zones, stop loss zones, take profit zones, all built using the secret point methodology, Valuable community is widely open and the link is in the description. I am John and this is BoomCrash Academy. Stay disciplined, stay profitable. And if you missed the video where I discuss how to stop blowing your account on Boom and Crash, watch next.